pretty lady is not the only reason behind a man's raised heartbeat. Meet brothers Vigneshwar and Venkateshwar and the bike that has the same effect on them. Brothers Vigneshwar and Venkateshwar not only share their calling for medicine, but also a fervent passion for motorcycles, more specifically British-made ones. Their recent acquisition, a 1944 BSA WM20, a wartime machine, is the current object of their attention.
Our craze for British motorcycles basically started when my brother gifted this 1984 Royal Enfield Bullet for me. So then we went scouting for British motorcycles, and then we found this piece.
6 months back, we had Mr. Arul having a collection of British motorcycles where we saw this WM20 for us, and we paid a $1.5 for this bike, and it was in pretty good condition when we had it. And after that, it took about a week for us to get it back on the road, and we're still enjoying it.
The brothers admit that they initially mistook the bike for a civilian model, but later on realized that what they had on their hands was a wartime model, replete with many additional features.
We actually saw this bike and we thought this was a civilian model basically because of the color. The color on the military model is usually olive drab or olive green. And then we went on the net where there was this person called Henk Jur who runs a club on the internet which is called the WM20 Club. I just wanted to check whether my frame and the engine number actually coincided because my frame and the engine number were different. I spoke to him and he said most of the British motorcycles, virtually all WM20s that were manufactured in 1944, had their frame and engines exchanged basically because of an exchange scheme run by the military. And after that we just knew that this WM20, which the W of the WM20 stands for war, and this was a World War II machine.
Sourcing parts for a bike like the BSA WM20 can be a tedious task. However, Venkateshwar and Vigneshwar scouted high and low to ensure that the pride and joy of their collection was in perfect working order.
The uniqueness about this bike is that it has a 500cc side valve engine, but in comparison to the Royal Enfield which is an overhead valve, it also runs on a magneto, so it does not require a battery to run. The important thing about this bike is also that this is the earliest shock absorber that is available, which is the girder fork. It has come in handy for a smooth ride for the dispatch riders to ride during the World War II. The other thing is the panniers, which served for them to hand over these canvas bags in which they can carry their messages as well as their ammunition.
Most people would be put off simply by the massive amount of time and effort it takes to get such a project up and running. But these guys are different. Their inspiration stems from much closer to home.
Our craze for vintage stuff basically rubbed off from my dad, who owns a 1951 Morris Minor. So we are still going to be on the prowl for some more vintage stuff, and this is not going to be the end of it.
The BSA WM20 is indeed a beauty as well as a beast. Though many are passionate about cruisers, I'm a superbike kind of guy. So if you have a superbike that we could cover on our show, do write to us at feedback@ndtv-hindu.com. Till next week, take care.